Hey everyone. Okay, so one of the biggest takeaways from this chapter for me is I think we only have a handful of chapters left of the series because you do not get any more endgame than the idea of Shiki and Void having a final battle with Mother being audience to it. Like that in itself, it just screams that we are in endgame, and again, we probably there's only I think Mashima only is probably gonna finish this in like the next like handful of chapters. I'd say like maybe 15, 20, maybe a little more than that. I don't know, but it's definitely within that anywhere from 15 to 30 chapters. I think that this is gonna be the end of the series. I think, and whether or not Mashima might now the question. Now, of course, this does beg the question of whether or not Mashima might be rushing to the end, and I'd be lying if I didn't say yes, but at the same time, with where the story is and where this arc is now, I think there is only so few boxes for Mashima left to check, so even if things are being rushed, so to speak, I think there is slightly more of a reason for that to be the case. The only thing I'm kind of confused by is why Mashima wrote this chapter to where Shiki dragged Pino along with her. I mean, I know Pino has an EMP, but I don't know how well something like that is going to work against a being like Void. Like, the only thing that does make sense is that this is setting up that Pino is going to play a part in helping to restore Mother, or maybe there's something in regards to her power that she can do to help in the fight against Void. But again, I'm not sure how but I'm not sure how that's likely to even happen. I don't know, or maybe not helping Mother, but maybe Pino can do something to help restore the old Void, considering she has everyone's memories. I don't know, but even then with Pino here, it's kind of leaving the whole Starshine's memory plot line up in the air. Like, for some reason, I don't know why, but Mashima keeps dancing around the idea of just giving the Starshines back their memories. And given what we know now, I guess it is a little bit of a hard sell of just finding the perfect time to do that, because there really is, because there really is none, given just how, I'm assuming how trauma-inducing that whole event was. But again, at the same time, it's getting to the point where I wish Mashima would just kind of rip the Band-Aid off. Like, again, I'm sure the dude's got a time and place for everything when it comes to this whole memory shit right now. But it's like, it is getting a little aggravating that we haven't done anything with that yet, at least from what I've seen. But okay, because that's actually the other thing. Keeping memories lingering in the air, as it were, does kind of give me the vibe that even if the Starshines survive this, Mashima is still planning to kill at least one of them off. And I hate to say it, but if that is what's going to happen, then the stage is a little too perfectly set for Witch in that regard. And I'm hoping it's a prediction I'm every bit as wrong about, because it was emotional enough before when Witch died the first time, but killing her without her memories and without Shiki ever learning that Witch is in fact his mother is going to be even more extremely cruel on Mashima's part. Like, if he is planning to kill any of the Starshines, though I'm hoping it isn't Witch, but at the same time, again, the pieces are in place for it to be the case if that is going to happen. But by the same token, I am wondering if Witch might be, but just because of that as well, it's also making me wonder if Witch might be too obvious a candidate if he is planning to kill one of the Starshines off, because just for that very same fact that, again, everything that's built up does kind of indicate that Witch is going to be the one to die, but at the same time, it feels a little too obvious for Mashima to do that. I don't know, like, I don't want to believe it's going to happen, but it still could. Because that's the other thing with the way that Mashima handled Witch's death the first time, giving it such an emotional farewell to them, it would be really hard in order to repeat that same magic at this point. And that's also the other thing that has me wondering if he's actually going to go through with it, is that he already gave Witch such an emotional send off that I don't know if it's truly going to be her that dies. And honestly, I got to talking with someone about it, and I think it is more than likely that we if any of the Star Sons are going to die, it might actually be who is it? It might actually be it might actually be it might actually end up being either Valkyrie who dies, or even worse, possibly Homura. Like I don't know how much to believe in the Homura side of it, but it's I do believe it's either going to be Homura or it's going to be Valkyrie, one of those two, because when you look back on it, we never we technically saw her death through flashback, I guess, but we never actually saw her die. We never actually got to see Valkyrie actually die in a way. So it's like, I think so. In either case, whether or not I think actually Valkyrie might be probably the one to more than likely die, because it would cement that would kind of cement Homura as the Sword of Edens at that point. Although again, it would be an even crueler twist if he did actually kill Homura and just have Valkyrie be the Sword of Edens. Now that would be that would be an interesting turn as well. And yeah, I kind of love how Witch, on a bit of a slightly lighter note though, I kind of love how Witch requested Shiki to order everyone to escape the Eden Zero and to board the Eden's One, only for Ivor's response to basically be, "What kind of stupid ass question is that? This is our home, you jackass. We're gonna fight to protect it until the end." And Shiki readily admitted it was hopeless endeavor to begin with, so he's like, never mind. Again, it's a small conversation, but I do like that it had a little bit of brevity to this very, what we consider a hopeless situation, while also reestablishing that, yeah, they aren't gonna just up and leave. Now, circling a bit back to the Shiki and Void fight, I'm not gonna lie, while I do still have confidence in Mashima's ability to handle this fight properly, I can't lie either that having the knowledge of how Laguna's fight with Lightning Law played out, it does have me. I am a little bit concerned in the sense where, while I don't foresee Mashima ending things in the exact same way, I do still worry this fight might end a little bit more abruptly than we might like. Although, knowing the fight is also happening with Mother as witness, so to speak, does make me wonder if Mashima is planning to utilize Mother in some way when it comes to the mechanics of this fight, or maybe even Zhou Mei, assuming she's still with Mother. Like, it just feels like one of these two is possibly being set up to, in order to do more than just like be like spectators. It feels like with Mother being so close to this fight, like literally being in close proximity to this fight, that she in some way has to play a part in it. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but that just feels like for me, it just feels like that has to be the case. Like, for me, if not from Mashima not from utilizing Mother some way, to some effect in this fight, for me would be the bigger missed opportunity, in my opinion. Because with Mashima, the other thing about it is, with Mashima having built a Void as this powerful entity, there's only so few ways you can approach a fight with an antagonist like this without the ending coming across as cheap. And while you could argue involving Mother in the fight could be considered cheap, it also feels like the more logical route than just Shiki bashing his fist against Void's face again and again. Like, the only way you can make that work is if you made it a full-on knuckle dragger type fight. But that's not doing those big knuckle dragger type fights is not Mashima's style either. So it's like, it does make me think even more that one way or another that we are going to see her play a role in this. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll. Be sure to notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight of Vinny, signing off. Later, everyone.